Thank you for joining us. I'm Rita Peters, Editorial Director of Pharmaceutical Technology and Biopharm International. PDA's mission is to develop scientifically sound, practical technical information and resources to advance science and regulation for the pharmaceutical and biopharmaceutical industry. The organization's annual meeting, scheduled for the week of April 14, 2013 in Orlando, Florida, has a full agenda of conferences, exhibits, courses, networking events geared to fulfilling this mission. To discuss this, I'm joined by the Annual Meeting Planning Committee co-chairs, Maik, Vice President, Business Development, GCON Manufacturing, and Hal Baseman, Chief Operating Officer of ValSource, LLC. Now, pharma and biopharmaceutical companies face not only scientific and technical challenges, but also business and regulatory challenges. Maik, can you describe how the topics covered at the upcoming annual meeting can help companies and individuals address these challenges?
Certainly. Well, besides the scientific and technology challenges which we see, we also realize that there are topics like drug shortage, counterfeit drugs, flexible facilities to reduce cost and validation of new technologies are focused within the industry. And we need to cover these multitude of very current but also very future topics. So we assembled highly qualified speakers to talk about their specific experiences and how the industry can be supported in these future tasks. Most of all, though, we always welcome and appreciate the interaction with the audience. So for us, it's not just the conference itself, the speakers itself, it's really when the learning, the real learning and networking happens is within the breakfast sessions, within the interest groups, which are catalysts for such interactions. So with the conference, we want to visualize really the opportunity of science and technology and regulation which are existing and shall be utilized to further our industry and serve our patients in the best possible format and way, and what type of new technologies we will see to help the industry to produce and develop safer drug products faster in a more efficient way.
Oh, thank you. I see the conference program is segmented into 3 tracks: biological sciences, sterile product manufacturing, and quality systems. Can you highlight some key sessions and discussions on the agenda?
It's difficult to point out very specific parts of the conference because ultimately what we want to achieve is with these conference tracks is there's something for everybody. We want to show a myriad of choices. So if one wants to know more about future technologies, certainly we would recommend to visit the sterile product manufacturing track. Or if somebody focuses really on new expression systems or biosimilars, we would then say the best track would be biological sciences. And if somebody's really involved in process validation and control, then we would suggest to go to the quality systems track. So everybody can really choose their particular session which they need for their daily work, but also which meets right there the bullseye of their interest.
Oh, thank you. Now, besides the conference sessions, what other educational or scientific or technical opportunities are available to the participants? Say the exhibits, and I see you have some interest group meetings also.
We have exhibits, we have training offers within the conference, but I think also from an educational standpoint, what we see highest value is when people and peers talk to each other, when they network. Most of the time in these interactions, that's when you get the educational experience. And then again in the exhibit area, the large exhibit area which we have, you have the networking luncheon, you have the gala reception there, and you have close to 30 poster sessions within the exhibit area. So when you go to poster sessions, it's actually in instances better than looking into presentations and talks, because at the poster session, you can talk to that person. You can discuss the particular topic you are interested in and have a longer period of time of question and answers within the poster session. And then at the end of the conference, we have also 6 training courses which we offer, very highly valuable training courses, up to date with newest topics in the industry. And then we have the human factors and human error reduction workshop.
During the annual meeting, participants do get to see the latest equipment, systems, ingredients, and technologies. But on April 17th and 18th, participants at a PDA workshop can take a closer look at the human factor. Now, Hal Baseman is a member of the Program Planning Committee for the Human Factors and Human Error Reduction Workshop. So, Hal, what are some challenges introduced by human operators to drug development processes? And how can organizations assess these challenges and map plans to address these issues?
Very good. Well, first of all, it's not uncommon in our industry to view SOP changes and retraining as the standard responses to human error. But is this a reaction to the true root cause of the error, or are these simply the solutions that the companies can implement quickly? A common misconception is that most human errors are the result of procedures not being clear and poor or inadequate training. Typically, corrective actions focus on updating those SOPs and retraining staff, which most times do not address the root cause of the human error. Human error must be viewed through a systematic lens that views the individual, the workshop, and the organizational influences on behavior. Looking only at the individual level yields a name, blame, and shame approach that has been proven to be ineffective in error management. But it's not a matter of simply moving the pendulum to the opposite point where the process is always at fault. That approach will ultimately erode personal accountability. We must realize that when a person touches the process, they became part of the process. Engineered controls can be an effective part of this process. However, when used as the primary response to error, engineered controls can become a very costly alternative. And in reality, most of these controls do not prevent an error. Instead, they capture the effect of the error so that it doesn't cause as much damage. Over time, staff become complacent and overly reliant on the controls, barriers, and the safeguards that are in place to minimize the risks introduced by error. Most human-related failures are the result of poorly designed processes that do not take into account human factors. In addition, many time management incentives for staff promote faster throughput without thought around the unintended consequences of just doing things faster and leading to staff developing shortcuts to achieve desired results. This workshop will help participants focus on ways of preventing errors, detecting error-likely situations, and correcting errors to prevent reoccurrence. Research-based tools and best practices from other industries will be introduced, and their application to manufacturing scenarios will be discussed. These tools can be very powerful when incorporated into the work design activities and cost analysis methods. This workshop will help participants focus on ways to be more effectively recognize root causes associated with human errors and use more effective instructional techniques, ergonomics, process feedback, and ways to mitigate those risks through better process design, anticipation and safeguard unintended consequences of management incentives, and create instructions geared towards better behavior.
Thanks, Al. Can you talk a little bit how the workshop is actually structured?
Well, the workshop structure is quite unique and innovative. The Planning Committee has designed the workshop around a combination of expert presentations and roundtable breakout sessions, which provide the attendees with a basis of knowledge and then allow them the opportunity to use that knowledge to address real-world process-related challenges. The roundtable breakouts will also allow the participants to bring to the workshop the challenges that they are facing in their own work environment and to hear from colleagues and experts on ways to address and meet those challenges utilizing human factor concepts and methodologies.
Thank you, Hal. I'd like to thank both committee chairs for providing this brief overview. The PDA annual meeting is scheduled for the week of April 14th at the Peabody Hotel in Orlando, Florida. You can learn more about the sessions and the events at pdaannualmeeting.org. Thank you.